Being the girlfriend of Aaron Rodgers seems like it would be a dream for a lot of women, but that's not the case for Olivia Munn. Munn is a famous actress and she's been dating Rodgers since early 2014, but this week her relationship with Rodgers was called into question, and it all revolves around the Packers' struggles. The team started off the season 6-0. Rodgers was on fire to start the year, but they have lost 3 games in a row, including an absolute stinker against the Denver Broncos, then a loss at Carolina, and then again they lost for the 3rd week in a row, and it was following their most recent loss that people started to point the finger at someone. And who's the person that you blame when things are going wrong with a star player? Naturally, the girlfriend. We saw it when Tony Romo was dating Jessica Simpson. When Rory McIlroy was struggling, everyone started to blame Caroline Wozniacki. Now that Aaron Rodgers isn't doing so well, everyone's blaming Olivia Munn. And it came out in the form of some headlines this week on websites. Now, those websites, what they did was they looked at a couple of comments left on the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel's website, publicized those comments, made headlines saying Green Bay Packers fans are now blaming Olivia Munn for Aaron Rodgers' struggles. To me, it was kind of a crappy way to build a story because it's not really a story, because just a couple of trolls commenting on a website doesn't speak for all Packers fans in general. So I didn't really like the way those stories were built. Neither did Munn. She went off on social media, lashing out at some of these outlets for publicizing what those trolls wrote in comment sections. Just because a couple of people write something in comments doesn't mean they're speaking for the entire fan base. She went off on some of those outlets. She also went off on a specific ESPN writer who wrote a piece this week naming the 5 reasons why Aaron Rodgers might be struggling. Number 5 was potential personal problems off the field. So he was pointing the finger at potentially Olivia Munn. Munn did not like that. She responded on Twitter and pretty much called out these journalists and these websites and these media outlets. And I completely understand her point, and I side with her on this one, because you can go on Twitter and you can search Twitter and pretty much cobble together a story to tell whatever story you want to tell, because all you have to do is search and you can find comments on whatever you want. If I want to prove the case saying that Justin Verlander is dumb for dating Kate Upton, which clearly most people would disagree with, I'm sure I could search Twitter, find 5 tweets on that subject, make a story out of it, and a headline that would support my case. But it probably is not reflective of society in general. You catch my drift here? So it's not a good way to build a story. Olivia Munn said so. And just to back her point anyway, let's look at the facts of the matter here. Munn has been with Rodgers since early 2014. That means she was with him all of last year when Rodgers threw for 38 touchdowns and only 5 interceptions. Okay, the Packers had the Seahawks on the ropes and pretty much were a lock to go to the Super Bowl until they blew it. But obviously Munn didn't bother Rodgers last year, did she? And what about the start of this season when the Packers were 6-0 and Rodgers looked like an MVP candidate? Obviously, Munn wasn't a problem then. She's not a problem now. Everyone shifting the blame to her is mistaken and wrong. If anything is wrong to me, it's probably something physical with Rodgers. Usually when a top-flight quarterback isn't playing to the standards that we're used to seeing, it's because he's hiding an injury. You look back at some of his most recent games, look at the game against the Lions. The guy did not run in situations where he usually would run. To me, that indicates there might be something wrong with him physically. Don't blame Olivia Munn. It's just a sad story. I'm with you on this one, Olivia.